Saira. Now, we have released a few videos and few communications. We have a website and we have a name for ourselves as Saipantis. So we received some communications from few people as to what Saipanth is, what we are, what do we do, how different we are. So we thought that it's better we communicate as to what we are. We are, simply put, Saipanthis, or the followers of Saipanth. We are disciples and devotees of Sri Shirdi Sainath Maharaj. That defines what we are. And our guiding light is Sri Sai Satcharita. Our entire path and process depends on Sri Sai Satcharita. So there are certain things which we are very clear about, firm believers of. So I thought that we should share our path with you. Now, Satcharita being the basis of our path, we need to understand what Satcharita is, how it was done, why it was written. There are two things which we need to understand here. One, Satcharita was written by Sri Govinda Raghunath Dabodkar, whom Sai Baba addressed him as Saipanth or Saipanth. Now, Satcharita was written in order to guide and inspire and show the righteous path to the disciples and devotees of Sri Sai Baba during the time when he was in the body as Saguna Sakar with attributes and form, and now what he is as Saguna Nirakar with attributes but formless, without the body. So we should understand, take a step back and understand. Sri Govinda Raghunath Dabodkar was summoned to Shirdi. Nobody goes to Shirdi on their own free will and accord. Every Shirdi Sai devotee knows about it. Sri Govinda Raghunath Dabodkar was summoned to Shirdi in the year 1910. Why in 1910? Because when Master has a plan, he has a reason behind it. By 1910, Sri Shirdi Sainath Maharaj had performed most of his miracles and most of his teachings were already given out. Because he leaves the body 8 years later in 1918. So, Sri Govinda Raghunath Dabodkar, henceforth I'll call him as Saipanth. Saipanth comes to Shirdi in 1910. And Sri Shirdi Sainath Maharaj leaves his body in 1918. So, Saipanth is there to compile all the teachings and miracles and stories of Sri Sai Baba, which occurred ever since he descended to Shirdi till 1910, and he was personally witness to the miracles and the teachings of Baba till Baba left his body. That's number one. So the timing was very essential. Now, what is written in Satcharita? The next point. Satcharita is a compilation of all the teachings and miracles of Sri Sai Baba. What transpired in Shirdi for about 60 plus years was compiled and came out as a book called Sri Sai Satcharita. The first thing is purpose of Satcharita is clear to us as Saipantis, which is our guiding light. The entire path and process is dependent on Satcharita. Now the second thing is there is a message within that. The relationship between the author and his divine master. The author displays complete humbleness, surrenderance, and the divine master explains to his devotees and disciples everything about instrumental devotion. Though we call Sri Saipanth as the author of Sri Sai Satcharita, but he very clearly mentions he was just the pen and the author was Sri Sai Baba himself. So the instrumental devotion is the first lesson we as Saipantis derive from Sri Sai Satcharita and the relationship between the Guru and the disciple, Sai Baba and Saipanth. So that is our founding principle. That is our guiding light. That is the first point which we want to speak about or bring it to the eyes of the world. Now the next point that we have to make as Saipantis. Saipantis are a small group of people who are staunch believers, devotees and disciples of Sri Sai Baba of Shirdi. Now Saipantis are very clear about one point, which is there are no reincarnations or rebirth of Sri Sai Baba of Shirdi. That is the biggest myth. We have something to substantiate. Number one, Baba spoke in riddles, in mysterious ways. He gave out signals, he gave out messages to his devotees and disciples. Nowhere in Satcharita it is mentioned, nowhere it has been recorded that Baba would take a birth in a different form after he sheds the form of Sri Sai Baba of Shirdi. His was a conclusive avatar, Purna avatar of Adi Guru Dattatreya as Sri Shirdi Sai Baba. That is the final avatar. Second, there is no mention of he coming back as somebody else or taking a birth again. So there is no mention of it anywhere in Satcharita that Baba is going to be taking another birth in some other form and name. So that's the biggest myth. And the most important point, where we have to draw the attention of every devotee and disciple of Sri Sainath Maharaj, is that in Satcharita, there are 11 sayings and promises of Sri Sai Baba. It is a extract. These 11 sayings and 11 promises are excerpts from Sri Satcharita itself, wherein he told that I shall be ever active from my tomb. I shall be ever active and protect all my devotees. I am ever alive. I am ever present. We as devotees, when we go to Dwarka Mai, we feel the Chaitanya, we feel the energy, we feel the presence. When we go to Samadhi Mandir, we feel the presence of Baba. It is something which we need to experience. It's not something which can be explained in words. So it is very clear, there is no confusion. that there are no avatars, there are no reincarnations of Sri Shirdi Sai. Because in Satcharita he has made very clear, he is quoted in several locations that I shall be ever active, agile from my samadhi. Even after I shall shed my body, I shall ever protect my devotees and disciples. He who sets his foot on the soil of Shirdi, his sorrows and sufferings will come to an end. So we are very clear about it, that there are no reincarnations of Sri Sai. Coming to the next point, what we are not. What we are not is also very important. Saipanth is a name which we have given ourselves, a small group of people who try to live by the teachings of Sai Baba as mentioned in Satcharita. But we are not a new religion. We are not a cult. We are not a sect. It is just a name given to us. There are no financial obligations. There are no commercial interests. We are a set of humble, pious, subdued devotees and disciples who want to live by the teachings of Sai Baba as mentioned in Sai Satcharita. That's all we are. That's another point which needs to be clarified. And as a philosophy, as a part of the Vedanta, there are 5 different philosophies, which is Dvaita, Advaita, Vishishtadvaita, Dvaita Advaita, Shuddha Advaita. Saipantis are firm believers of Advaita philosophy, non-duality. Brahmam Satyam Jagan Mityam. World is an illusion. Brahma is the only reality. Aham Brahmasmi. Me as an entity, he is the divine himself. I am not God, but God is me. So I am one with the God. My path is to become one with the God. Aham Brahmasmi. That is what Baba has said in one of his sayings, which is in Satcharita, where he says, blessed is he who has become one with me. So very clear that Advaita is advocated or presented to his devotees and disciples in Satcharita. We are Advaitis. We are believers of non-duality. We also walk on the path. This is another point. We walk on the path of 3 principles. Jnana, Bhakti, Karma. Jnana, for us, knowledge is endless. You can gain knowledge of anything and everything forever. One birth or 1,000,000 births is not enough to gain all the knowledge in the world. But for us, the Jnana is to find answers for 6 fundamental questions. Who am I? Where have I come from? Why am I here? What am I supposed to do? Where will I go from here? And whom do I belong? Or which is my origin? Where did I originate from? Or whom do I belong? So finding answer to these fundamental 6 questions is Jnana for us, which we find in Sai Satcharita. Then comes the Bhakti. We gain the knowledge and we understand the knowledge which we gain. The process of gaining the knowledge and understanding the same is Bhakti for us. We gain the Jnana, we understand the Jnana, which process is Bhakti. Bhakti for us is not just a ritual. Ritual is always an expression of bhakti. Saipantis are non-ritualistic and non-religious. The third thing is to live by the knowledge gained and understood is karma. We gain the knowledge, we understand the knowledge gained, and we live by the knowledge gained and understood, which is karma. So our path is very clear. Our path is based on these three founding principles, which is Jnana Bhakti Karma. And definition of Jnana Bhakti Karma, our definition of Jnana Bhakti Karma is just explained. Then the other thing, this is a little out of, or possibly something which is indicated in Satcharita, and we take a leaf out of it, which is we are also the yogis. We are practitioners of Kundalini Yoga, and we adhere and subscribe to the Ashtanga Yoga, which is mentioned, which is propagated, which has been advised by Maharshi Patanjali in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. We perform the penance of yoga, not just asanas. Our path is a little different, but we take the leaf from Ashtanga Yoga and we take the inspiration from Sai Satcharita, because Baba said, blessed is he who will become one with me. And the path of becoming one with our master and guru is the Kundalini Yoga that we practice. So this more or less summarizes the definition and meaning and the path of Saipanth. Saipanth is non-religious, non-commercial, and non-ritualistic organization. It is actually not even an organization. Saipanth firmly believes in not just respecting but also accepting all religions. So my prayers to all the seekers, whoever wants to join us, may just post a comment and we will reach out to you. And we also believe that whoever has to join the path of Saipanth will be sent by Sri Sai Baba himself. He will guide the seekers, and if that suits, if this path suits that person, Baba will guide us, guide that person to Saipanth. As Sri Sainath Maharaj in Shirdi said, that there are many ways and paths to reach the Supreme. There is one way from Shirdi also. Likewise, from Shirdi only, there's one more way which Baba has possibly shown us. So my prayers with every seeker, may they get all the blessings and enlightenment, and may your Guru show you the path and progress you in your path of spirituality. Sai Ram.